Oh, that was absolutely amazing. Sinners, yes. Yeah, I just got home from Sinners, and for the first time in a while, I just sat in my car in silence and just thought about what I had just seen on my way home. Usually I'll put up maybe another review, maybe I'll listen to an audiobook or something. But for Sinners and Ryan Coogler's kind of first original type product, it delivered so much for me. And Coogler is just a special talent when it comes to directing in this day and age. This cast is loaded with a lot of different actors playing a lot of different great roles, and while there are parts where this is more of your vampire style movie, make no mistake, Coogler has made a supreme masterpiece of a film that tells so many different type of stories and has so many different type of character connections throughout. The movie litters you with the trailers with Hailee Steinfeld's Mary and Michael B. Jordan's Stack and Smoke, twin brothers, as kind of the draw, as more of the main names that people recognize and will bring in. But it is Miles Caton as Sammy that just leaves you jaw-dropped at the end of the day. Because he is the heart of the movie. He has such an amazing way with music. And there's a scene in the middle of the movie where Sammy just delivers a absolutely breathtaking song performance that Coogler, having the talent and the ability and knowing what he's working with, just delivers an all-time great scene with Sammy singing, Miles Caton singing, that delivers so much power and emotion and really is able to make this movie just breathe originality and uniqueness and just, I think, transcend the plane of a simple vampire type movie into something that will be remembered much larger scales. Seriously, it is a breathtaking scene, and it just really cements it for you. This like, ooh, just goosebumps the whole entire time. The way the camera's moving around, the music and the voice in the background. Ew, the hair is like standing up on my neck just thinking about that scene. I'm going to go see this movie later this weekend again, at least one more time, if not multiple, because it was just this good. Michael B. Jordan comes in as Smoke and Stack, and they're very similar brothers, but they're also very different brothers that you don't have an issue telling who's who, and kind of figuring out their stories and where both of them have come from, I definitely think works itself well. One brother definitely, I think, has a much better story arc through than the other, but that's okay. I think Michael B. Jordan gives his best overall performance ever in movies yet. I think anybody who might feel like he's kind of becoming a character actor of himself, he's different in this movie. I think there's still shades of Michael B. Jordan playing Michael B. Jordan, but he feels very different in this movie, and both Smoke and Stack are just unique enough that you can buy them as different characters. It's really well directed by Coogler to have scenes when they're together, and a lot of the movie kind of when they're apart. It just feels kind of seamless throughout. And Michael, I think, B. Jordan just does a great job playing off both of them so well. Hailee Steinfeld, the other well-known actress in this, Mary, she's more of a supporting side character, and not even one of the ones I think that's a big standout for this film, but Steinfeld gives a memorable performance throughout the whole entire way, and you kind of learn Mary's connection to Smoke and Stack, and just the community at large here, and what ends up happening as this night of pleasure and terror and horror goes on. Other standouts for me, I mean, I talked about Delroy Lindo in my short, and it's because he comes in as an older blues player, Delta Sim, and man, I love Slim this whole entire movie. Delroy Lindo is just giving he's giving a phenomenal performance throughout. He's really just a character that brings out laughs. He's a character you feel for in the movie. Great humanizing character, I think works incredibly well. Linju Lee plays Grace, who is an Asian grocery shop and florist. You know, her and her husband own the grocery shop and floral department, it seems like, in this southern Mississippi town. And I thought her performance was great, and especially going towards, you know, maybe that third act change. I think she delivers just, I think, a great performance in that. Wumi Musaka plays kind of the love interest of one of the brothers, and her character Annie and her connection, her acting, and not knowing who this character was and wondering what's gonna like this kind. It feels kind of weird to start the movie. No, her relationship with one of the brothers is so important, and she plays such a solid role in this movie, and is such an important thread to the end of the movie that it all pays off. If there's one thing you want, there's a few things you can kind of say against Sinners. If you're going in for a non-stop horror vampire type movie, you're not getting that here in the beginning. The beginning of the movie is really setting the stage of both Smoke and Stack, what's happened in their life, where Sammy is at being the son of a preacher that we see in the beginning of the movie, and them trying to set up this big night at a juke joint they look to open up. And I think, you know, while that may feel slow at first, you're like, I want to get into the action, I want to get into those trailers that I saw. It's very important that they lay these foundations for these characters, because those characters' connections and that fundamental groundwork they put in the first act of this movie really ties down the second and third acts even more, because they put the time into those relationships and those characters and those things that you didn't think would be important for a vampire movie ended up being the heartbeat and the most important things near the end of the movie. Jack O'Connell plays the kind of head vampire that you've seen in the trailer. He was excellent. He was eating up that role. And yeah, this was just a fantastic movie. And Ryan Coogler is finding himself in a spot, in my opinion, where he is very much, I think, the next big young great directors. You have your Tarantino, you know, you have your Spielbergs, your Hitchcocks, your Nolans, your Camerons. I think Martin Scorsese's. I think Coogler is one amazing original movie or one amazing style movie away from 100% knowing that he's in that category. I'm willing to say after Sinners, he's in that category. But I know people will latch on to he only did Creed. He's done 2 Black Panther movies. You know, this is his first time going into something more original, and he hit a home run here. But I just see greatness in the way he shoots. I see greatness in the way he can tell stories. And he just seems like a filmmaker that gets something special. Every time he has a movie, it just feels Coogler. It feels special. It feels like you're watching something that transcends just general movie making itself. It helps a lot that he has Ludwig Göransson, his kind of find as a musical composition again, working with him here. And this is unlike any Göransson score you've seen. Göransson definitely has a way, whether it's Black Panther, you had him with Christopher Nolan and Oppenheimer a couple years ago, and having him here in Sinners. These scores are so different, but yet they fit and make the movies work and mesh so well. And Göransson, in some ways, may just end up ping-ponging back and forth between Coogler and Nolan for a good portion of these next decade or so, because he seems to be working with them, and I don't blame him. It wouldn't surprise me if Göransson is the one composing the score for The Odyssey for Nolan next year. But yeah, Coogler just has a level of greatness to him that Sinners is showing here throughout. I know Coogler wants to do Black Panther 3, and it's well within his right to finish up that trilogy that he started at Marvel. But I hope after that, he just does he basically decides what he wants to do. If it's original, I hope it's more original. If he wants to tackle an IP, let him tackle an IP. Don't try to force him to be in anything. He should just be going to studios and being like, I want to make this movie. And those studios just need to be saying, yes, we got you. And I think in some ways, the fact that he's in Warner Brothers right now for this movie is a huge loss for Disney because, after Marvel and Black Panther, this could have been a 21st Century Studios movie, a Fox Searchlight type, a Searchlight Pictures type movie. This could be under the Disney umbrella, but he's at Warner Brothers. And I'm pretty sure after what happened with their loss of Christopher Nolan, it wouldn't surprise me if they cling on to Ryan Coogler tight because they can see his greatness. And even though it's an interesting, ownership tactic for his film here, where I think after 25 years, it goes back into the Coogler family's possession, doesn't stay with Warner Brothers. It is clear, I think he has a bright future ahead. I think this movie, as word of mouth gets going and going and going, you're going to get more and more people seeing it, not just this weekend, but other weekends down the road, because this is a must-watch. And I watch it in IMAX. For me, it's a must-watch in the best format possible. If that's Dolby Atmos, if that's your premium Dolby screen, if that's IMAX, it is worth the watch there, because the way Coogler is in Gorkson and just the whole crew are able to make art out of this. And again, the performances are so great. Miles Caton, first movie of his career, and he comes out with that Sammy performance? Are you kidding me? Like, it's just jaw-dropping, and like, he was so good. He was the heart of the movie, and his musical way of being able to perform, and just whether it's Coogler's direction with his acting, it was special. It was extremely special. And I mean, we're just getting into the ratings here. This is a diamond. Diamond. This isn't just a diamond. This is in my certified top 100 of all time. I cannot sing enough praises for Sinners. Believe the audience score. Believe the Rotten Tomato score. This is a movie that, if you want original movies to work, go and watch it. It's really, really good. Obviously, don't take your little kids to go see it, because it's not a movie for people, I would say, under the age of, 14, 15, in that range. But, original movie. This should be a breakout, long-legged hit that holds at 20 to 30% week over week for the next month and a half. I know we don't live in that world now, but this type of movie is what you need to go and show the studios you want. You put your money down, you go and watch it. It makes a bunch of money, and studios learn you want directors to make original movies like this, and you want our hands out of the pie, because that's what Sinners is, and Coogler delivers a home run. And I hope this movie, they're projecting 45 to 55 million. I'm hoping this movie has a 7 in front of it, and 70, maybe even 80 million by the end of Sunday or Monday morning, because it's that good, and people need to go see this movie. Sinners is the best movie of 2025 so far. I usually don't like to say that title because, I do my Joshers at the end of the year, but I'll be honest, it passed up a movie I didn't know if it would get passed up this year. And it's now my number 1. And we'll wait and see if there's any other movies coming out this year that can pass Sinners, but I could see this being an Oscar contender next year. I think it's that good of a movie from Coogler, and it should be an Oscar contender next year, unless there's things that knock my socks off the rest of the year. But yeah, tell me your thoughts on Sinners in the comments down below, and check out anything else on the channel. But yeah, great movie.